During week 242 of Brada's Branded Thoughts, an exclusive interview with Iowa women's basketball freshman guard Taylor Stremlow. The Wisconsin native was supposed to sit down with me for about 20 minutes. We ended up chatting for 30 plus. Really insightful stuff from a young prospect that, when evaluating her initially, I had made the comment that she's got a little bit of Caitlin Clark in her, but her game is very versatile and will certainly help the new age of Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball. Taylor Stremlow coming up during week 242 of Brada's Branded Thoughts. This is from the Hawkeye of the Storm. Let me introduce you to one of the proud supporters of From the Hawkeye of the Storm, Iowa floor covering down in Bondurant. Now, for the last year and a half, you've heard me talk about this great company in the heart of central Iowa. They've got their Tough Core Click Together 4.5 millimeter waterproof vinyl flooring, great for you DIYers out there. But even if you're just a contractor or you need a different type of flooring, they've got you covered, whether it be tile showers, carpet. Give Iowa Floor Covering a chance to serve you better and serve your flooring needs. Visit them online at iowafloorcovering.com. That's iowafloorcovering.com, or you can give them a call at 515-379-7000. That's 515-379-7000. Thank you to Iowa Floor Covering in Bondurant. Pleased to be joined now by Iowa women's basketball freshman Taylor Stremlow, who is officially in Iowa City and officially a member of the Hawkeyes. She's been a part of the Hawkeye group for, a year and a half now, Taylor, and you're finally here. So what's it feel like to finally be an Iowan and be a part of a very popular black and gold squad?
It's been amazing so far. Like you said, it's been a long time coming. So just getting here, getting acquainted with the school and the team has been amazing. And everybody's been so, welcoming. And obviously it's a lot of information, a lot of new stuff coming at you. So having the other freshmen makes it a lot more manageable. And just working through those little new changes and things together really helps.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about that. You've been here. You got to Iowa City in, I think, early June. We're recording this here early July. What are summer workouts like, and how are they different from what you experienced in high school?
Just the intensity that everybody works at, and, everybody wants to be there, wants to get better. So it just is a whole new level of energy, and just seeing the returners and Lucy, the transfer, the level that they train at just pushes me to want to do more and show up more and work harder. So I think that's just been a key piece for me, is just seeing what the returners do and trying to emulate that with myself.
I'm glad you brought up Lucy Olson. I wanted to ask you about her, so we might as well skip over there. So, when you committed, you of course didn't know you'd have someone with that type of an acumen and resume like Lucy Olson, who's got incredible offensive tape to roll back for all you freshmen and for Hawkeye fans to kind of put their faith in. Of course, we know we're going to talk about kind of the turning of the tables as it relates to the era that has been Iowa women's basketball. Caitlin moving on, Coach Bluder moving on, Coach Fitzgerald moving on. But what's it been like being around Lucy Olson? Because fans don't really know Lucy yet. So give us a glimpse of what she's going to be as a leader on the court and off the court.
She's amazing. She, like I said, is one of the hardest workers, and I haven't known her for very long, but she just sets a standard and shows up every day ready to work and just loves to play basketball. And I think that is the best thing you can ask for in a teammate, is somebody that wants to be there, that is just a student of the game, and is an amazing player. Like you said, we scrimmage with each other, and she puts on a clinic there. And so I think that just learning from her, playing with her, competing against her is helping everybody on the team.
I've went through and tried to give my layman's version of analysis as it relates to Lucy Olson. But tell us, as people who have not been around her yet, since she's been in an Iowa uniform, what type of a player is Lucy Olson?
She's a bucket. She's definitely a bucket getter. She's a great defender too, but she has her spots on the floor. Stellar jump shot, she'll pull up, rise up and knock it down from anywhere. So I think just she's an exciting player to watch, a happy person on the court, but also a really big competitor. So I think that's something that the Iowa fans are going to love.
Absolutely. And this class is so generational. We're going to talk about, just the implications. I don't know that you guys quite realize it. I don't think it's possible for you to totally realize the impact you guys will have for years to come in this program. But let's talk a little bit more about you, because you grew up in Verona, Wisconsin. I mentioned before we started recording that a good friend of mine, Coach Gary Close, who joins us for post-game coverage, he's a citizen of Middleton and, of course, coached under Bo Ryan at Wisconsin, coached for Iowa. So there's a bit of a connection there. When you first committed, he told me off the air, I think, hey, Iowa women's basketball got a really good basketball player in Taylor Stremlow. So what was it like growing up in Wisconsin? You're 5'9". You corrected me because before I had 5'8" on the screen. So tell me about being a guard, playing in Wisconsin. What it was like growing up there and playing high school basketball?
Yeah, I mean, both my parents played in college, and I have three siblings that all are big competitors. So just growing up in a really competitive family with obviously basketball in the blood. So that was always something I was super passionate about. Um, and yeah, I played a lot of sports up until about seventh grade. Then I really narrowed it down to basketball. It's my main passion and interest, and so that's really when I started like working out and like specializing in it. So, um, and I always had I don't know, just AAU regular season. Those were some of my best friends on the team. So just met a lot of good people, formed a lot of really good, long lasting relationships through basketball, and so I think just um, the people you meet through it and the places you get to go even before getting to college is like such an experience. And then now obviously getting to go to school for it and to travel and get so many cool experiences is really exciting.
I was going to ask you about your family's athletic background. That was something that I've always find intriguing. And you mentioned both of your parents were college basketball players. Can you talk a little bit about their athletic background?
Yeah. My dad actually played for Bo Ryan at Platteville. Right before he went
Okay.
to the national championship. So that's his like
Wow.
go line, which is it's pretty amazing. He yeah, played at Platteville, won the Natty, and then my mom played for Butler.
Okay.
She's Hall of Fame there, so she was
Wow.
when she's only like 6 foot, which obviously wouldn't fly nowadays, but she killed it there. Um, and so yeah, I got a little post guard off guard combo with my parents, so I've learned a lot from them.
I was to say, what is having a mom that was a post and a post that's, I know is a different era of the game, but like you said, you typically see a post at 6 foot. So what pointers, what things have you learned on the court from your mom?
I mean, leadership. She's definitely a very loud, like strong, confident woman, and so that influenced me. Obviously not skill wise. That's not a skill. She definitely taught me a lot of skills. Boxing out, I think rebounding, she inspired me. I love to rebound and like find the little gaps. So that's something that came from her. And then also some post moves. You might see me hit some post moves. She taught me the up and under was like her go-to. So staple move there. I'm trying to think what else. She definitely taught me a lot, but like just being vocal. Sharing the ball. I love to pass. Like a good pass is great. And she was actually my coach growing up, so that kind of you never wanted to be like the selfish like coach's kid. So she definitely helped me out with my passing.
So how tall is your dad?
6'3", 6'4", 6'3".
Okay. So he was a guard, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like a 2-3 shooter.
Okay. So were you expecting to maybe be a little taller? Not to say you're short. I'm not implying that at all. But did you think maybe your future was going to be at the 4 or the 5 if you kept growing?
I wouldn't say 4 or 5. I actually was always the shortest. Like growing up, I was probably 5'5" up until like seventh grade. So I was always shorter. So that's kind of I was always in a point guard position, and I liked being that leader and facilitator. But I was expecting to be a little taller. My older sister is like 2 inches taller than me, so I was kind of hoping to beat her out. But I don't mind. I still think, hey, never know, could still be growing, and the shoes help a little bit. Get a couple an inch or a half inch from that. So
Absolutely. So was your dad, I mean, given the fact that he played for Coach Ryan, was he a big Wisconsin basketball fan after Bo Ryan, started to make history in Madison?
Yeah. Now he was a fan of Bo, but he actually grew up in Iowa, so he's always been a big
Okay.
Iowa.
Okay. Awesome. So where in Iowa did he grow up?
He grew up in oh, shoot, I forgot what it's called. I'm really bad with like towns. I want to say near Dubuque.
Okay. So he's pretty close to Wisconsin still if he was up
Yeah.
northeast Iowa.
Oh,
Okay.
his high school. They won the state championship. He had
Okay.
like it was a big game.
Wow.
Shoot, He's gonna be so mad at me for not remembering it.
But he was a really good basketball player at Platteville.
Yeah.
And I wonder, looking back, do you think he maybe a little under recruited?
I don't know. He actually went to a JUCO first, and then went to Platteville. So
Okay.
I he had a really great career, and
Yeah.
he thinks he can hoop, but I'll beat him 1-on-1. So
This is something I asked before we went on the air. Player comp is something I always find fascinating, and on a number of levels. One being, you may name someone that's your player comp that a lot of our listeners have never heard of, not because they don't care about women's basketball, but rather we've seen such an increase in attention around the sport. And you probably, I'm guessing, grew up wanting to play in the WNBA. So I hope fans will, if you have a player to name, they'll flock to YouTube to go watch this player. Was there somebody in the WNBA or maybe that played at Wisconsin or Iowa that you've kind of modeled your game after?
um, I would say I grew up looking at the high school girls in my area. I watched a lot of went to every single one of their games, so that really had a big influence on me. A lot of them went to play college, so I continued to follow them. But as I got like into middle school, I would mainly watch like YouTube clips, honestly.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously like DT. Now like Sabrina Nescu, I like to watch her a lot. I used to watch like Kyrie Irving, lots of his ball handling clips. Loved that. Russell Westbrook. I used to be like a big Russell Westbrook clip fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Tia Penchero, I slaughter her last name all the time, but it's like Penchero or something. Her passing, I've seen like so many clips of her passing and just like playmaking ability, and um, so I love to watch her. And then Kate Martin, obviously her leadership and we kind of like got to talk at camps and stuff, and I got to watch obviously during recruiting, see practices and games. So just watching her lead and be a positive role model like to her teammates and to like the recruits was pretty awesome.
I'm wearing a Mavs shirt, so when you say Kyrie Irving, obviously that resonates with me. And not many people say what you want about Kyrie Irving. I know he's been a bit of a polarizing figure in the last 5 to 10 years. That has dwindled to some extent at Dallas, but there's not anybody that I've seen in my lifetime that can handle the ball like Kyrie.
I'm
So
telling you see some of those like magic videos of him like dribbling with the different fingers, and I mean just growing up and
yeah,
like yeah, you just want to go to the gym, try it out, and it's like it's not as easy.
absolutely.
So
His
it's
ability to finish with both hands, switch hands midair, obviously change his body midair, adjust position. It's incredible.
and honestly, he's obviously not that small, but like compared to the NBA guys, like how he has to move and like shoot to get it over some of the like 7-footers is incredible.
Yeah. And one thing I really appreciate about Kyrie, and I'm curious to get your perspective on how you play the game. I always like to ask recruits, whatever sport we're talking, are you a chippy person, or I shouldn't even say chippy? Are you a chirpy person? Do you like to trash talk and dish it out? Because Kyrie's a guy who kind of just goes about his business, but then you have his counterpart Luka, who's constantly talking.
Yeah.
And I think each guy kind of works to their benefit at times. What kind of a player are you on the court from that regard?
Yeah. I would say I'm super fiery. I wouldn't say I talk unless somebody's like talking to me. Um, then I don't talk a ton, but I'll say some things here or there, and it's just more like I like to direct my energy towards my teammates. So like instead of like yelling at someone, I'll yell like at my teammates and like get excited with them. I feel like that just brings the energy up, and it's not as like I wouldn't say negative. I don't think trash talk is always negative, but sometimes it's not necessary. So I feel like just like getting excited with my teammates and getting the crowd going. I love doing that more than I like, getting in somebody's face.
So go back to my love of the Mavs. I love watching Luka talking to the front row. That is one of my favorite things to watch when I watch a Mavs, especially a playoff game. So, talk a little bit about your relationship with Jan. So the news came down that Coach Bluder was stepping away from the program or going into retirement. We also got news that Coach Fitzgerald, who's been such a integral part of what this staff has been. What was your reaction to that? And then what is your relationship with head coach Jensen?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely shocked. It's a big change, but also a little change. They had been together so long, and I had a great relationship with both of them. But Coach Jay had also done, I had a lot of phone calls with her during recruiting, and so I was just as confident in her when I heard the news as I was with Coach Bluder. So that was very promising. And also, obviously, you see like everybody stayed committed, and all the coaches stayed with Coach Jan. And so I think that speaks for itself as to the kind of person and coach that she is, and also just like the future that we're going to have together as a team.
What was that day like? Did someone reach out to you before the news broke publicly? And was there a moment where you were like, okay, who's going to be the next head coach, or was that pretty much put to bed right away?
It was put to bed right away. They had called me just a bit before the news was released and just let me know she was retiring, but then saying that Coach Jan would be in the spot. So, I congratulated Coach Bluder for a great career and congratulated Coach Jan for this awesome opportunity that she's been waiting for.
This doesn't make you a traitor to the state to say there was, but was there ever any moment where you're like, maybe I should reconsider my decision?
No, I was, they said right away, retirement, Coach Jan. And so they never gave it a second for who was taking the job. And I never gave a second thought of if I should stay with her or not.
Okay. I like the straightforward answer. Hawkeye fans will appreciate that. And mention some of your recruitment. I just tallied a non-all-inclusive list of some schools that you had reported that offered a lot of Power Fives, a lot of big names: Marquette, Iowa State, Kansas State, Penn State, Providence, Illinois, Minnesota, probably missing some in there. Were there a couple other schools that you'd say reached your top three, or was Iowa kind of just always out in front?
My top four schools that I had kind of narrowed it down to was Wisconsin, Illinois, Penn State, and Iowa. All great programs.
You just put Wisconsin in there because you're from Wisconsin, though, right? Like, in reality, you were never going to Wisconsin.
I don't know, but had, like I said, a lot of great programs. But yeah, I mean, I ended up here. I know I made the right choice, and I wasn't a huge like Badger fan growing up, which I think not helped, but like led me not to feel super like drawn to the school and the place just because it was at home. I've always been a really independent person, and like I said, big family, so we never really like followed the Badgers a ton growing up. I think I probably went to like 1 or 2 games, but nothing super crazy. So that definitely like helped with me exploring other options. Just the people, the family culture. I mean, just what have I been here like 2.5 weeks, and I already feel really close with the girls. I feel like the coaches are already invested in our team and believe in us, which is, you need that feeling in a team to be successful. So I think that that just shows that it was the right decision, is how I'm feeling right now.
And I got to give Wisconsin crap. If you're a Hawkeye, you grew up there, but Iowa fans don't like Badger fans. So that's a healthy rivalry, but it's a good one in the Big Ten. So what is this new look Iowa women's basketball team going to be? I know you kind of implied that it's the same old, but there's got to be some adjustments. I know you weren't here last year, but can you perceive anything that you think is a little different, other than maybe just the obvious styles of leadership that were probably a little different between Coach Bluder and Coach Jensen?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, such a new team, like half of us, I think, little under half of the team is coming in or as a freshman or transferring. So it's young. I think there's more like mistakes to be made and learning to happen just with all of us growing together, like building our chemistry. So but I think you're looking at a new fun exciting team with the same program and the same support hopefully. So I just think that obviously Caitlin's gone, Kate's gone, a lot of those seniors that graduated with incredible careers and are keeping going with that. But there's still great players here, and there's still new great players here. So I think just keeping the excitement going and showing that we did graduate some incredible players, but there are new exciting people in to hopefully keep that support and excitement going.
Absolutely. Who's looking really good in the summer?
Everybody, man.
Okay. All right. Is there anybody that's stood out for, like, is Taylor really knocking down her outside shots? Is Hannah really taking people down low? Like, anybody that's popping off the screen, especially?
Um, I don't know. We do a lot of scrimmaging, so I'd say everybody has their moments of
Okay.
great moves, great shots, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say everybody, all the returners sharpening up, shooting it the lights out, and that's what we do, baby. Iowa, come on, 3 point.
Absolutely. There's going to be opportunity for a lot of scoring from a lot of different people with the departures of not just Caitlin, but Gabby and Kate Martin.
Right.
So talk about your strengths. When I watched you on tape when you initially committed, I remember saying, really good ball handler with really good vision, really good finisher. I'm guessing maybe some of that you credit to your mom, I would think, to some extent. I think my one question was your ability to defend and move laterally. So that's not a criticism, but I want you to tell me why I'm wrong. Why are you going to be able to defend in the Big Ten? And then what other strengths do you bring to the conference?
Yeah, I think you hit a lot of those strengths. I would definitely say my vision and ball handling, um, finishing, aggression. I've been working a ton on my shot, so my shot's looking good. So I'd say that's definitely a new strength, not new, but a growing strength. And then defending, I think something that really helps me a lot and kind of sets me apart from some other people is just my heart. I think I can push through when I'm tired and just work hard and be sneaky. I've been called a snake by a lot of people on defense, whereas whether it's rebounding or like getting steals. So I think that can make up for sometimes like as not moving as quickly laterally as some of the other smaller, quicker people. So, there's definitely some growth for me, like you said, agility wise, but I think I make up for that in other areas.
And it seems to be, I mean, you obviously got tons of recognition for what you did in high school, and rightfully so. It seems like that's the biggest. The reason I'm not trying to pick on your tape, but it seems like that is the biggest learning curve, is defending at this level. So would you agree with that as far as like your biggest room for improvement, or like what weaknesses are you focusing in on this summer?
Yeah, I would definitely just say defending, moving, being quick off my first step offensively, being confident in my shot. That's something, like I said, been working a lot on my shot, but continuing to be confident in that and just make smart IQ plays and not like forcing it anywhere. So a lot of areas to work on, and like I said, still building the chemistry with the team, so that's been fun to learn a lot offensively and defensively from the returners and like how they do stuff around here. It's not like vastly different from what I've done in my life, but a lot of the little like knick-knack stuff has really been key into growing and like learning their systems.
Okay, this one's going to be maybe a little bit more challenging for you, but maybe not. I want to name the newcomer. So this is obviously a very, very important 24 class, really talented 24 class. I don't need to tell you that, but let's start at the top and kind of give me maybe a short 2 to 3 word descriptor. First thing that comes to your mind when I name this specific player, this specific teammate, and we'll
All right.
start with Ava Hayden.
Athletic, awesome, and good at basketball, man. I'm telling you, she can jump really, like she might be dunking soon. Not for real, but like maybe but she can
Wow.
she can get up there. She's just a hard worker. She's really receptive to, the returners and all the posts. Obviously, Iowa produces great post players, and that's a big reason why she came here. I think the main reason. So, just learning a lot from them, and yeah, she does a great job on the court.
So you're telling me maybe I mean, it's hard to play as a freshman in the post, but I've heard nothing but good. You're not the first that has said that. If anybody's going to get a post ready for action as a freshman, it's probably Coach Jensen.
Who
So
that?
that's good to hear. Aaliyah Guyton.
A competitor, fun, hardworking. She's obviously still recovering from an ACL, but she goes in there every day, attacks her recovery, do what she needs to do, and then she does some more. So I think that recovery wise, she's gonna get back quickly, but basketball wise, she's gonna make a name for herself and make some shake some things up on the court. So yeah.
Tegan Malay.
She's a quiet killer that's
Yeah.
getting better, and she's a hard worker. She does all the little stuff, makes all the right cuts, and just like I think our whole class has been so good so far with learning and growing together, and also just talking about like things that we're confused about, or if we have like, even if it's not basketball related, it's just nice to have those same people going through similar things.
And Callie Levine.
Fun, hardworking, bubbly. She same goes for her as Aaliyah, that she goes in there every day, and more, and does what she needs to do to get back to the team. But then they're always on the side at practice, cheering everybody on, getting hyped just as they would on the sideline if they were in practice. So I think that just her investment in the team and herself really shows. So I'm proud of her, proud of Aaliyah. All the girls recovering, they're really putting in the work. So it's fun to see, and it makes me excited for when they get to be back on the court with all of us.
Absolutely. The news recently that broke, Randy Henderson and Sean Sullivan added to the staff. I know you've gotten a chance to meet them. What are your first impressions on the newest members of the staff?
Yeah, Sean, I think actually comes next week. I've heard nothing but good things. That he's a really great guy, really great basketball brain, and Randy's been awesome so far. She jumped right in, wasn't afraid to. Obviously, she's super knowledgeable and was a great player here. So I think just showing us what she got and teaching that, and she's done just that so far. Just stopping drills when she needs to, just like all the other coaches. Giving us pointers and using her strengths and just teaching us a lot from all that she's learned throughout the game and the process of it.
Did you commit in November or December of 22?
December.
And just publishing the video that was announcing your commitment, it's one of the more popular videos on the channel. And when you talk about that, I find that fascinating because like we're talking up against football, up against men's basketball, and you have these people who are flocking to women's basketball recruiting videos and all the content. It's not just my platform, but all these different platforms that are publishing Hawkeye women's basketball content. How does that make you feel when you know that you're going into this head first and that fans are so excited for the program that you're a part of?
Really excited. I mean, that's the main word I can think of, just to know that they are, sticking with us. I mean, they're sticking with the returners, but they're also excited for the newbies. And I think that hopefully they'll come to like us and love us just as much as we already love all of them and the program. So, I mean, really, it's just the excitement goes both ways. That I can't wait to run out there. I've never played in front of nearly that many people at all before, and hopefully they can just keep showing up and finding reasons to show up for us, and hopefully we put on a good show for them.
Last thing, and I appreciate you taking a few extra minutes here. Let's do some quick fire here, kind of get to know you type questions. Best friend on the team, would you say right now? And you can't say everyone.
I don't know if I can answer that one, man. Everybody, like, genuinely, everybody has so many different, like, I click with so many different people for different reasons. There's so like I have so many different passions, and finding the little things I connect to with each person makes me like them all for different reasons.
It's valuable, really valuable.
Absolutely.
Favorite restaurant in Iowa City so far?
The Bread Garden.
Okay, so probably an easy answer.
Yeah.
Project your next 10 years. What do you, I know it's hard to do, but what do the next 10 years of Taylor Stremlow's life look like?
Hopefully play all 4 years in college, stay out of injuries way. And then I would love to play overseas somewhere. I really want to travel. So hopefully getting that opportunity, and yeah, wherever that takes me, playing overseas, or I mean the WNBA would be amazing, and then like playing overseas in that off season like some people do. Hopefully the pay is good enough then that I might not have to though.
Yeah.
Then have that little bit of off time. So, and seeing my family. Love you, family.
I didn't ask you about hobbies. What do you do with your free time?
A lot. I like art a lot. I was actually just playing the ukulele today. I like to do that just for fun.
Okay. All right.
I like to ride my electric scooter. I love to read. I'm in a little team book club, so that's
Okay.
I like to read. I mean, play games. My family's huge on playing games and just like filling up any rest downtime, which has its flaws. But just hanging out. I love watching movies, going on bike rides. I mean, just like getting outdoors, doing fun stuff. Really everything, I was in a woodworking class the past like 2 years, and that really was fun for me. So just a lot of little arts and crafts stuff. Music, love to listen to music, go to concerts.
Okay, great. Hold on. Let's stop there. Concerts, what type of music?
Everything. That's kind of what I talked about, connecting with all the other players, is I just have so many interests, and so I feel like I can find something that I genuinely love, like a song that that person also loves, and it's
Okay.
just so many different genres, like um, rap, country, pop, old music, folk music, like just everything.
What's the last concert you were at?
Last concert I was at was, what was it? Oh, I got to go to the Luke Combs concert.
Was that up in Wisconsin?
Yeah, it was in Milwaukee.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll make a lot of people down here jealous. Country's plenty popular in Iowa, and I believe, unless I'm getting the years mixed up, we didn't go last year, but I believe Luke Combs is going to be at the Iowa Speedway in a couple of weeks, and it's going to be that's just so you're aware, Newton, which is an hour west of you. And it's, I believe, Post Malone, Luke Combs, Eric Church, and Kelsey Ballerini, I think.
Cool.
So country is you're going to fit in as far as country music is concerned down here. It's funny you're talking about goals, because the number of football athletes, especially the small town athletes, that I asked that question, how many of them have responded and said, I basically just train, work out. Like that's all I do. So I don't know if they're being disingenuous, but you make time for a lot of things. So that's impressive. Final question. Give me your goals. What do you say focus your time on as it relates to short term and long term?
I would say short term for myself is just to play, to do what I can for the team, and learn a lot, have fun. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's supposed to be fun, so to work hard and do all those little things, but to find enjoyment in it. Long term, hopefully win a lot of games, win a natty. Obviously, that's the goal. And I don't think it's unrealistic. So I think just working hard every day, building the chemistry, taking it game by game, but still having those bigger goals, I think never hurts. So, yeah, Big Ten champs, that would be incredible. And they've done that successfully for past 3 years,
Yep.
3. Right? So, yeah, winning culture here, and I think we can keep that going.
Absolutely. Taylor Stremlow of Verona, Wisconsin, freshman guard at Iowa. And I'm telling you, this is as excited as I've seen a Hawkeye fan base for a specific recruiting class in almost any sport. And at least in recent history that I can remember, I mean, people just cannot wait until November. So congratulations on getting to Iowa City, getting settled in, and keep up the good work. And we'll hopefully talk to you at Media Day, which I don't know when that is, but you've got, I know, a very busy summer ahead of you. So keep your head down, and we appreciate you taking the time, Taylor.
For sure. Thanks, Corey.
Really appreciated the 30 plus minutes with Taylor, and she's got a good head on her shoulders. Sounds like this young group of freshmen are very tight knit. It sounds like Lucy Olson has really acclimated herself with the young players, and that really is a positive indicator for the future. And it's going to be interesting to see what the minute distribution is with these young freshmen, because I think you've got some people who are ready to go. Now, I know Aaliyah Guyton's coming off that serious injury, but she had told me during a recent interview that she expects to be ready to go by November. So it's going to be interesting to see how Jan Jensen balances it all. Does anybody redshirt? That's a great question, but boy, great stuff. Really appreciate Taylor's time. And thank you for being here and taking the time to listen to that interview, watch that interview. Please hit that thumbs up button below the stream if you're watching here on YouTube. Also, this video and all of our podcasts, all of our long form content is available on your favorite podcast platforms, YouTube podcasts, certainly Spotify, Anchor, Amazon, and more, Apple Music as well. Please be sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star rating, and we'll talk to you next time.